Hello! What is going on with you today? I am going to play another replay. Cass, just going to be my awful translator voice. So, I'm going to go in and play one against one of my friends. I've known him at school, so he's one of my school buddies, but he got a new graphics card yesterday. He got a 650 Ti, because I'm not going to lie, he hasn't got a proper gaming PC. His PC is more like a cardboard box. But we kind of looked at his components and said, yeah, you could buy a 650 Ti. It's kind of best of the worst, and it should be able to run everything on pretty much ultra, maybe probably 30 to 40 FPS, give or take. So we thought it worked. It did work in the end, which is good. It's good. So today was kind of his first day with ultra graphics. He's playing all sorts of different games, and about an hour or two ago, I said to him, "Do you want to hop on Shogun?" Because he is a big Total War fan, and it's been a bit horrible for me and him because we both got Shogun 2, both got this game the day it actually came out, but we never really started to take a full-on interest. Well, I took more of an interest, but it was mainly just the graphics. When you're playing on a low graphics, like the lowest of the low, and it's sort of at 20 FPS, it's not really very desirable. So you probably understand where we come from. So I just said, fuck it, let's play a match. It is a bit unfair though, because he is a 1 star and I'm a 7 star. That says I'm a 6 star. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure I'm a 7. Anyway, let's go into the units. He has got the DLC though, I can't remember what it is. Is it Hatatori or whatever? The one that gives you like Bulletproof Samurai and the Monk Cav and all those kind of guys and the heavy gunners and shit. Like mounted dicks as well. So going to the units, I've got my Naginata Samurai. Some pretty good stats, very good stats in fact. I then have my second matchlock, because I think I've got two. Yeah, I've got two matchlock monks, and these are my worst ones because the other ones are out of commission. They've been killed. I then go into my 3 shock troopers. I think they're probably some of my best shock troopers. Got some nutty skills, and a captain cabinet. Then I decided to hide all of my cav, which is definitely a good idea. Try and keep your cavalry sort of up your sleeve. It kind of gives your opponent the wrong perception. And I've also got 1 bow cav and another bow cav. And then the buildings are archery dojo, I think the defence, yeah, the workshop, and the farmhouse. So it looks like we're going to fight over the farmhouse pretty much. But the only reason we're going for a farmhouse is because it's on the high ground. So high ground definitely sort of preferable to key buildings. But I mean, if the archery dojo is the morale shrine, then you definitely want to be going for the morale shrine. Okay, so his army. Oh, he's got completely black. I don't know what's happened there. Anyway, he's got some Yari Ashigaru, which is a good meat shield unit. He's got Nagi attendants. He's got lots of bow Ashigaru. Remember, he is like rank 1, so he's also got some katana samurai. I did play Fugu cooking him, which is a bit harsh, but oh well. And he's got his bulletproof samurai. I did buy the DLC a few hours ago. I mean, it's only like £1 or 2, so hopefully I'll be fielding some unmounted decks and some mounted decks and all other sort of decks. And he's got some sword attendants. And then I think he's got some cavalry hidden around somewhere. So let's get cracking. So when you look at the size differences, I've kind of got a much smaller. I think my army was like half the size. I think it was about half the size, but what mine lacks in quantity, it definitely makes up for in quality. Because all of the units I'm fielding today, I think, are veteran units. This isn't one of the promised 5 battles though. I'm still working on all those. I mean, I've pretty much managed to do about 3 battles today. Well, when I say today, I mean the 1st of November. I managed to upload 3 today, and or 2 actually, but I'm going to be uploading 2 or 3 tonight, hopefully, including this one. Why are they walking so slowly? There we go. Corrected that. So, to start off with, Bocav, run down and get the workshop. And then Bocav, run down and get the archery dojo, because he has got a massive skirmishing advantage to me. Just the sheer amount of bows. But, I mean, once my guys are on their horseback, they'll rip his Ashigaru to shreds with the accuracy, the ammunition, the morale as well, so they won't really run away as quick. But it's also to do with the certain abilities I've got. Like I've got that spinning thing, where they spin around in a circle. It's a lot tougher for infantry bow units to attack. If I were him, what I would have done, because you can't actually run up this slope, I don't think. The gradient is too far. So what I would have done, I think he's doing it now, is pretty much just get all your bow units here and just fire away. Because bow Ashigaru is I'm not gonna lie, it's a crap unit, but I mean if you've got them in vast number, they can be pretty darn helpful. But at this point I realised that I didn't actually capture the workshop. I mean, it had a sort of full circle, but it wasn't quite full enough. So I had to end up running back to it, which was a big mistake. The battle could have turned out a lot differently just because of this little mistake. He also got some wacko raiders as well, and he did manage to cap this farmhouse, and I think he's moving them up here. At the moment though, he has got presence in the battlefield. I would sort of say to him, try and stick his army closer together. That would definitely be a good idea, because I mean if you've got, you know, all of this, you know what I mean, I don't know, if you don't, he hasn't got any spear units at the back, so what we could have done is get Yari Ashigaru to line the back lines, because I mean if I had a cavalry charge around the back, it's going to take a while for his Yari Ashigaru to get over there. But yeah, he ran in some monk cav. I was not expecting that at all. He almost rinsed out one of them. Now this is a crucial thing, when units are broken, like it says there, you should always carry on going for them until they're shattered, because now this Bocav is just going to come on back, and I have now just ran on in there with all of my anvil cavalry, all my katana, and I'm just going to clean house a little bit. It probably would have been a good idea for him to just turn around and sustain that combat, because monk cav is very, very good. I'm not sure if it quite gets the bonus v cavalry though, I don't think so. No, it doesn't, so yeah, it's probably actually a very good idea to do that. But yeah, I would have said, with Yari Ashigaru, always keep, say, I don't know, 1 unit at the front, 1 unit at the back, and then 2 on the sides, to kind of noob box yourself. Definitely helps. So this was a little bit of a mistake here. He throws in his Naginata monk cav at my bow units, which allows me to then just charge on in with the rest of my cavalry. And I've shattered his Yari Ashigaru, so now they're just running for their lives. I mean, he managed to shatter my Bocav, but I mean really at the price of 2 units, it's not really worth going for. And I wouldn't have taken these 2 down without the backup support of some archers. And this is another very, very kind of quite bad move that my friend made. When you've got cavalry here and you've got Yari Ashigaru here, you never turn your backs on them. Never ever turn backs on an enemy, because even though they're spear units, you'll see I do the same here as well. Because even though that they have got their spear wall up, it only counters cavalry from the front. It never counters from the back. So I mean, if you hit spears from behind or on the side, on the flanks, then they will definitely decimate any spear unit. You can see there I only lost one cavalry, one cav man. It's definitely something you have to bear in mind. So he's basically now just lost 3 Yariashigaru and a monk cav. Just going to try and run these guys in as well. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Don't go in piecemeal. Now my Yari cav are going to slowly pick him apart. I do tend to waste my cavalry an awful lot. I like to try and soften my enemy up a lot more before I fully engage to them. I also saw that his Wacko Raider was up here, so I did take my my first anvil up behind my army to go combat, because isolated sword units are easy pickings for any cavalry, and especially katana cav as well. You just saw two flags pop up then, and holy crap, I was not expecting him to have 2 more Naginata monk cav just hidden. Definitely a good move by Nectablud. And at this point, I'm just hell bent on causing a bit of disruption to him. As you'll see here, this unit I think will just get destroyed. Meanwhile, so I mean, I think was that my bow cav? Yeah, I sent my bow cav in to distract the spear units, and then my other anvil was there to get rid of those Naginata warrior monks just by luck. Meanwhile, I've got an open charge against his army pretty much. No, his Naginata monk cav is going to charge on him as well. At this point, I do bring up my matchlocks to take some shots at his sword attendants, and I also charge these guys in. Now, what I did here was very good, is that I got my katana cav, and I saw these guys were sword attendants, which was a good idea, but I wanted to take his monk cav out of the fight as well. So his monk cav followed in my katana, and then in a minute now you'll just see I've drawn them into the attendants, so now they're going to get punished by my matchlocks as well as the sword attendants, and nearly routing one of them. So sometimes sacrificing a unit just to try and trap another one or break the morale of a unit. See there, look there, I'm taking out his monk cav pretty needlessly. These guys cleaned out the Wacko Raiders because they were sword units, and you'll just see him here harassing his archers pretty much. And you'll look there, 175, 176. You know, they're racking up the kills. Whoa, all the way up to 190 it looks like pretty much. So I mean, these guys just put an absolute pain on my opponent. Again, don't run in piecemeal. These guys, because they're now isolated, they're against my Naginata samurai, they're just going to get chopped up. They're just getting diced. And also their morale will break because they are isolated. He's got some Nagi attendants and some bulletproof samurai. He's popped off an early rally, which is really not a good thing to do, because he's not in heavy combat. You want to be popping off your rally when you're actually engaged into full-on combat. So when he's engaged all of his troops, then he pops on a rally. Or if he gets into a fight, he realises he's losing it and his morale is beginning to degrade, that's when he should pop it on, because then it will instantly lift like everyone's morale. Now I don't know what happened to my matchlocks here. They seem to have just frozen. They didn't decide to fire. I mean, this is a bit of an arc, but you can still probably get through. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Just seemed to have bugged out. It was a bad move by me to send up my general, but I mean, it just kind of stops them from doing anything for the meantime. And what's left of his Naginata cav is running through, and I then pick up my Naginata samurai to come meet him. Naginata is such a cool weapon. It's basically a sword on the end of a... Basically just a sword on the end of a spear. I would like to fight you, know. Do you have some time? Yeah, bro, just give me a sec. Tell him now, actually. Just recording battle. play in a minute. There we go. So there you go, Surav, you shall be on my video. So I've pretty much just cleaned out his monk units. He's now engaging all of his men. I'm just going to charge in my guys as well. Oh my goodness. See, mine have got a solid morale there. I don't know what these guys are doing. Decided to go chasing some cav. And also, this is another good, a good tip to kind of use, to kind of say, if you will. Matchlock units are incredibly deadly versus any sort of unit, especially if they're low in quantity. If there's not many soldiers per unit, they're absolutely clean house. This is what I did with his general. I tried to focus generals in most battles, but as soon as he entered this ridgeline, his general, I just focused him down with my matchlock fire, and they are deadly. I mean, kind of more often than not, they will definitely kill general units kind of within one volley. So yeah, I mean, that can be a very, very useful tool. Definitely take into account the power of matchlocks when a general gets too close. When an opponent does have matchlocks, you kind of want to keep back a little bit, just in case the matchlocks do end up opening fire on him, because they will take him out really quickly, much quicker than bows will. So anyway, that's the end of the battle. That was my friend's first battle, kind of. So I kind of went easy on him. I let him have kind of control of the battlefield a little bit. I kind of reserved myself into the forest. I tried not to go too harsh. But if I were him, I probably would have taken it a bit more slowly. I'd group my monk cav up, because I mean, if his monk cav got into combat with my my katana cav, he probably would have won. He probably would have won that, and then he would have had control of the battlefield. Then I only had one Naginata unit as well, so I mean, he could have easily encircled me, taken out all of my katana infantry, and then just steamrolled me with his army. Anyway, so there's the stats. Yeah, he did have double my men, but when you're playing against someone who's higher ranked than you, that's generally what you want to be doing. Go to the unit statistics. Considering there was only 40 men in that katana cav, but they ended up not even quadrupling. They ×5 their kills. That's pretty well done. Yeah, then my third anvil did very well, 180 kills. Matchlocks did pretty darn nice. And then his monk cav was definitely his best units. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the battle. Be up sometime tomorrow most probably, and I will see you some other time. Bye.